going to go to Croatia. Now, if you want to go quickly, there's only one way to get there. It's all cleaned out, baby. We got the Carpenter copter. Hop on in. Isn't it nice, dude? It's all clean. I got all these air fresheners. Got the doors wide open, so hold on to something. If you don't get the reference, a bunch of people pooped in it a couple episodes ago. We're in Croatia. We also had to go back in time during our flight. We are going to watch the life and times of a man. Tell me this doesn't sound like a Star Trek character. I said I wasn't going to do any Star Trek jokes, but this guy sounds like a Star Trek character. His name is Frane Selak. Don't fool me. That's a Star Trek character. You're a time traveler. But anyways, we land in Frane Selak's yard, and he's like, get out of here, you kids, and your wacky contraption, because we're back in, I guess they had helicopters back in 1962. He's like, get out of here, kids, with your contraption that I'm vaguely aware of. He's shaking a pitchfork at us. Actually, Frane seems to be a pretty nice guy, so he's like, I'm just kidding. Come on in. Let's hang out for a bit. And we don't really want to hang out with him. Now, if you haven't seen the movie Final Destination, it's the movie where death tries to kill you. You escape, and I love Final Destination 4. That's one of my favorite movies. The series is good, but Final Destination 4, called The Final Destination, is one of the best. One of the best horror movies. Absolutely love it. But anyways, that's the setup for those movies. You escape death, and then death tries to get you again until you eventually die. Let's look at Frane Selak's life. First off, he was a Romulan officer on a warbird. No, I'm just joking. Okay. In 1962, he was in a train. Another train, no ghost hobos, nothing like that. The train, however, flips off the tracks, crashes into the river. 17 people drown. He swims to shore. 1 year later, 1963, he's flying in a plane. The door of the plane malfunctions, pops open. He is thrown out of the plane. I don't know what height, but not super high. He's thrown out of the plane. He lands in a haystack. Plane crashes, killing 19 people. He never flew on another plane. 3 years after that, he was in a bus, slid off the road into the river. He swims to shore. 4 people drown. 4 years later, so now we're in 1970. He's rocking the bell bottoms, hairy chest, huge medallion. He's driving a car. Car catches on fire. He jumps out of his car and gets away before the car explodes. 3 years later, 1973, driving a car. A malfunctioning fuel pump begins leaking hot oil onto his engine. Flame shoots out of his heater vents into his car, burns his hair off. But he survives. And then nothing until 1995. He gets hit by a bus. Minor injuries. 1 year later. This, I think, all of that's bad, but this I thought was quite chilling. 1996. He's driving on a curvy mountain road, and a United Nations truck comes out of relatively nowhere, and now they're about to have a head-on collision. He swerves into the guardrail to avoid the truck. The guardrail gives away. Now, because when he swerved the impact of the car, he wasn't wearing his seatbelt, and when his car hit, his door swung open. He flew out of his car, grabbed onto a tree. Car plummets down a 300-foot gorge, and he's just standing there. All of these had been documented throughout his life. The UN truck, I hope, stopped and helped him. They're like, no, we only help nations, not just you. But anyways, Frane Selak survived death multiple times. 2003, 2 days after his 73rd birthday, wins $1 million in the lottery. Buys a bunch of houses, buys a boat, gives the rest to his friends and family, died peacefully, 89 years old. Can you imagine dodging death that many times in your life? Like, I mean, I've had some pretty scary run-ins with, like, car accidents and, like, sketchy situations in places I shouldn't have been and things like that. But after the 4th time I got in a vehicle and it either exploded or drove off the road, I'd be like, I'm done. Actually, that's kind of what I have done. I've been in 7 car accidents, and I'm like, I don't need to drive. I'll just walk everywhere. So but this guy's like, oh, my car blew up. Good thing it's fully insured. Time to buy another car, and it catches on fire. I don't know, crazy. But luckiest or unluckiest, man? I mean, it's pretty lucky to win $1 million, but it'd be even more lucky if he won $1 million when he was younger. But he had it, and he said, his view was, I bought what he wanted, and then he's like, I'll just give the rest to my family and kids. Luckiest or unluckiest man, you decide. I guess luckiest, really, because he survived the whole time. I found that story when I was looking up the farthest falls. He was listed as one of the people who survived a plane fall, but I mean, he fell into a pile of hay, like a Looney Tune character. It doesn't even say how high the plane was. But I was like, oh, this guy needs to just get his own little segment. That was a clip from our daily podcast, Dead Rabbit Radio. Dead Rabbit Radio is available anywhere that you listen to podcasts. It's daily paranormal, conspiracy, and true crime news. If you want to hear the full episode that this clip came from, check the link below. Please like and subscribe. And hit that little bell, too. That does some magical stuff. Thanks, guys.